everyone, this is Maki. Let's dive into the third episode of英雄変生, the new story of G GUNDAM. At the moment, it's uncertain whether it will be available in languages other than Japanese. Let's keep an eye on the fate of Schwartz Bruder and Kyoji Koshu together. Of course, there will be story spoilers, so please be careful. Now, let's take a closer look at Major Ulve's terrifying plan. At Neo Japan's supply base, Domen and Rain arrive to gather supplies. Rain listens as Domen talks about his time training under Master Asia in the Guyana Highlands. She expresses her sadness that Domen lived on Earth without ever contacting her. They then open the hangar. Inside they find a prototype of the Rising Gundam stowed away. Surprised, Domen asks Rain, can it still be used? Rain replies, yes, it's being properly maintained. However, Domen's expression darkens slightly as he reflects, but this mobile fighter once encountered a terrible incident. Rain notes sharing his somber mood. The scene shifts to the Neo Japan colony, where Major Ulve and Dr. Mikamura are talking. Dr. Mikamura is surprised about the use of the Rising Gundam as part of their supplies. Ulve replies, as long as it's used for support purposes like repairs or replacements, there's no problem with the rules. Dr. Mikamura also adopts a somber expression, mirroring Domen and Rain. Dr. Mikamura recalls past events. The Neo Japan Gundam development team had been conducting mock battles using Gundam data. After one such battle, Ulve was showered with praise from military personnel and scientists alike. The Rising Gundam had been victorious in the mock battle. Ulve proudly explained that the Rising Gundam was equipped with a system that could convert human emotions into energy. He then told the military and scientists that they were developing an even more advanced mobile fighter, the Shining Gundam. The flashback continues. Dr. Mikamura visits Dr. Koshu. With the blueprints for the Rising Gundam in hand, Dr. Mikamura enthusiastically approaches Dr. Rorizo Koshu. Rorizo and Kyoji celebrate that the Rising Gundam has been accepted as a mobile fighter for the Gundam fight. Dr. Mikamura beams as he accepts their congratulations. That evening, the Koshu family hosts a small party to celebrate Dr. Mikamura. Rorizo and Kyoji talk about Domen, who became Master Asia's apprentice. Dr. Mikamura jokes, Rain is a little upset that Domen is living on Earth without contacting her. As the party winds down, Rorizo confides to Dr. Mikamura, actually my research is almost complete. In the underground workshop of the Koshu family, Rorizo reveals the ultimate Gundam to Dr. Mikamura. Rorizo explains to experiment with my 3 great series it's ideal to put them on the Gundam. He reveals that after being attacked by bandits in the Guyana Highlands, he decided that it was essential to install these series in the Gundam for easy mobility and self-defense. To test the effects of the 3 great series installed in the Ultimate Gundam, Rorizo and Dr. Mikamura initiate a simulated Gundam fight using data. In this data-driven space, the Rising Gundam and the Ultimate Gundam begin their battle. The scene shifts here. A few days after the data battle between the Ultimate Gundam and the Rising Gundam, Ulve and Dr. Mikamura are talking in an office. Dr. Mikamura tells Ulve about the defeat of the Rising Gundam in the data battle and remembers the battle in detail. The Rising Gundam inflicted damage on the Ultimate Gundam with its Noginoto punches and kicks. Then equipping its bow, it unleashed its ultimate move, the Rising Arrow. The Ultimate Gundam was hit hard and suffered visible damage. At first, Dr. Mikamura showed a triumphant expression, but in the next instant, he was taken aback. The armor of the Ultimate Gundam began to regenerate, transforming into an even larger form. Overwhelmed with fear, Dr. Mikamura cried out as he watched the Ultimate Gundam grow. The scene cuts back to his conversation with Ulve. When Ulve hears about the abilities of the Ultimate Gundam, he shows an intrigued expression. Dr. Mikamura admits that he has lost confidence in the performance of the Rising Gundam. He then mentions that he received advice from Raizo Koshu regarding the Shining Gundam, the successor to the Rising Gundam. Raizo had found out that the emotion conversion system installed in the Shining Gundam was structured to only respond to feelings of anger. However, Dr. Mikamura hadn't noticed this flaw, that it only activated in response to anger. Seeing Dr. Mikamura's discouragement, Ulve smiles and says this flaw isn't necessarily a bad thing. It could even be a good thing. I have an idea. Ulve and Dr. Mikamura then visit the Koshu family workshop. Ulve suggests to Dr. Koshu that they use the 3 great series of the Ultimate Gundam for the Gundam fight. However, Dr. Koshu refuses. Dr. Koshu explains that the features of the Ultimate Gundam were developed to restore the environment of the Earth. Since the Gundam fight could potentially harm the planet, he cannot agree to cooperate. In his heart, Dr. Koshu recalls conversations with Master Asia in the Guyana Highlands. He believed that using this technology, created to heal the Earth for conflict, would be a betrayal of Master Asia. Rejected by Dr. Koshu, Ulve and Dr. Mikamura reluctantly leave the workshop. Ulve is surprised to hear that Domin has become Master Asia's student. Dr. Mikamura seems to have given up on acquiring the technology of the Ultimate Gundam, but there's a glimmer of intrigue in Ulve's eyes. In Ulve's office, he and Dr. Mikamura have a meeting about the Gundam fight. Dr. Mikamura is reluctant to use the Rising Gundam in the Gundam fight. Ulve asks with a grim tone, "Aren't you frustrated?" He then rolls up his pant leg to reveal his prosthetic limb. Ulve begins to recount his experience in the past Gundam fight. His Gundam had faced Master Asia's Hao Gundam, with the new Sweden Gundam standing by his side. Instead of pride, as a martial artist, Ulve prioritized victory. Master Asia had already defeated every other Gundam except Ulve's and Neo Sweden's. Finally, Ulve challenged Master Asia in Kyoto. However, against Master Asia's skill, both Ulve and the Neo Sweden Gundam were completely overwhelmed, and Ulve lost his leg in the battle. When Dr. Mikamura hears this story, he is visibly shocked. Ulve, unwavering, says, "I have no regrets. Losing my leg was a badge of honor." To win in the Gundam fight, you have to be willing to use any means necessary, even if it's unsportsmanlike. Ulve then urges Dr. Mikamura, "I want you to be ready to do whatever it takes to achieve victory." One day, after some time has passed, a gunshot rings out in the Koshu family workshop. Mikino, the mother of Domin and Kyoji, collapses. Kyoji rushes to her side. Dr. Koshu gives Dr. Mikamura a look of anger and disappointment. Ali, pointing a gun at them, demands that they hand over the data for the Ultimate Gundam. In an attempt to protect Raizo, Kyoji is shot in the shoulder. Dr. Mikamura, with a sad look on his face, urges Kyoji to hand over the data. Pretending to follow his instructions, Kyoji begins to manipulate the Ultimate Gundam's data. Suddenly, a loud warning sound fills the workshop as the Ultimate Gundam's data begins to be erased. In panic, Ali hits the data computer with his gun, breaking it. The next moment, the lights in the workshop go out, plunging everything into darkness. Ali orders his men to arrest Raizo and kill G. Kyoji tries to enter the cockpit of the Ultimate Gundam. Ali points his gun at Kyoji, but Raizo intervenes, saying, "If you kill me, the theories behind the Ultimate Gundam will be lost forever." In the midst of this tense situation, the Ultimate Gundam activates. The Ultimate Gundam, which has taken off from the Kashu family workshop, is pursued by the mobile suits of Ulve and his subordinates. At Ulve's command, the mobile suits unleash a barrage of fire. The Ultimate Gundam's armor is damaged by the beams, but it regenerates the next moment, revealing an array of cannons. With a powerful counterattack, the Ultimate Gundam destroys the pursuing mobile suits one by one. Kyoji, freeing from Ulve, tries to escape to Earth aboard the Ultimate Gundam. However, the pain from his shoulder wound causes him to lose consciousness. A few days later, Ulve and Dr. Mikamura are talking in Ulve's office. Ulve, injured from the battle with the Ultimate Gundam, now wears a mask over his face. The Ultimate Gundam descended to Earth, but its whereabouts remain unknown. In addition, New Hong Kong was in control of Earth's jurisdiction at the time, making it extremely difficult for Neo Japan to conduct a free search. Ulve stands with a determined expression. "We will use the Gundam fight." Dr. Mikamura looks on in confusion. First, summon Domin Kashu. Ulve's powerful declaration marks the end of episode 3. Dr. Kashu's ability to identify the flaw in the Shining Gundam design by Dr. Mikamura simply by analyzing the data is truly remarkable. This experience causes Dr. Mikamura to lose confidence, thinking, "I'm not a genius after all." But is this really the case in the anime? When Domen achieves the serene state of Maki Shizui, the Shining Gundam responds by powering up not in anger, but in response to Domen's calm, focused mind. Guided by Dr. Kashu's insights, Dr. Mikamura made improvements to the Shining Gundam. Though Dr. Mikamura was only slightly less capable than Dr. Kashu, he was a person who could recognize his mistakes and strive to improve. The real tragedy of G Gundam may be that such a person, Dr. Mikamura, was ultimately influenced by Ulve's manipulations and became involved in his schemes. It was also revealed that Kyoji, after losing consciousness due to his injury, couldn't complete Ultimate Gundam's descent through the atmosphere. Damaged by the incomplete atmospheric ray entry, the Ultimate Gundam would later be reborn as the Dark Gundam. How will this story end? Thank you for watching until the end. See you in the next episode.